Ever get that feeling, like those ancient cultures, they were tuned into something we're barely starting to grasp
Oh, yeah,
now.
absolutely.
Like we're playing catch up with wisdom that's been around for centuries.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what has me so fascinated by what we're diving into today, this whole concept of ancient Tamil wisdom.
Hmm.
Specifically, this idea, what if the secret to unlocking some deeper part of yourself, your inner wisdom or whatever you want to call it, what if it's been right there in front of us all along, like hidden, but in plain sight
Interesting.
in these old verses and teachings?
Right.
So we're drawing from pasted text for this deep dive,
Okay.
and they focus on a verse from the Nanakral.
Okay. Familiar with it.
It's like this collection of Tamil teachings, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like a treasure trove of wisdom, really.
And what's got me especially intrigued is how the author makes this link between like an ancient concept called Sunya Kalamarithal
Mm.
with this idea of opening your third eye.
And that's what I find so captivating about these ancient texts, you know?
Yeah.
You dig into them and boom, these unexpected connections to modern ideas just pop up, like bridges across time and cultures.
It's like they were onto something way back then.
Exactly.
So before we get too far into the weeds here, I think it'd be helpful to take a step back. Can you give us a crash course on the Nanakral and who Avayar was? Why should we even care what they have to say?
Okay. So, picture this. A guidebook for life, but not just any guidebook, one that's packed with these short, super insightful verses that touch on everything you can imagine. Love, virtue, leadership,
Wow.
even the very nature of awareness. That's the Nanakral in a nutshell.
Okay.
And the brilliant mind behind it,
Yeah.
Avayar. A woman, a poet, a philosopher revered in Tamil culture. Think of her as this wise sage, whose words have resonated across generations.
Okay. So we're talking about some pretty heavy-hitting wisdom here.
Oh, absolutely.
And this deep dive, this one zeroes in on this idea of Sunya Kalamarithal. Now, I got to be honest, I'm stumbling over that pronunciation a bit.
Yeah.
But what does it actually mean? Break it down for us.
Okay. So, Sunya Kalamarithal. Literally, it means understanding the time of void. Now, the word void, it might sound kind of intimidating at first.
It does have that connotation, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not about emptiness in like a negative way. Think of it more like recognizing that space between your thoughts, that stillness that's always there underneath all the mental chatter.
Okay. I think we can all relate to that feeling of having a lot going on up there.
Exactly. Everyone experiences it.
So how does understanding this time of void, how does that connect to opening your third eye? Because the author we're looking at today, they draw that parallel.
Right, right. And that's where things get even more interesting. You see, the third eye, it's often used as a metaphor. It symbolizes intuition, that deeper awareness, seeing beyond just the surface, the physical world. It's about tapping into a more, profound understanding. And that idea, it resonates really strongly with Sunya Kalamarithal because it suggests that when we understand and embrace those voids, those moments of stillness, we open ourselves up to a whole new level of perception, a new level of insight.
So it's almost like these ancient Tamil teachings are giving us a practical guide to being more present, more mindful.
Exactly. It's not just some abstract philosophy. Sunya Kalamarithal is an invitation to be present, notice the gaps in our thoughts, find that stillness within. That's where clarity emerges. That's where wisdom hangs out.
Okay, I got to ask, and I know we can't hop in a time machine and ask her directly, but if we could, how do you think Avayar would view this connection between understanding the void and this heightened awareness?
Well, if we look at Avayar's other writings, her overall message, I think she'd see these concepts as interwoven. She always urged people to look deeper beyond the obvious, to find truth through observation and introspection. Sunya Kalamarithal, it fits right into that framework. It's like a pathway to deeper self-knowledge.
Which brings up another question. Why does any of this ancient wisdom still matter today? Like, we live in a world of constant noise, information overload. What can we actually gain from trying to live by these ideas?
That's the thing, right? It's a completely different world from Avayar's time, but in a way, that makes these teachings even more relevant.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Think of Sunya Kalamarithal as an antidote to the stress, the overwhelm that comes with modern life. It's a reminder to slow down, create space for that stillness, and reconnect with that inner wisdom that's always there, even amidst the chaos.
It's like we're hitting the pause button on autopilot for a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Those moments of stillness, those voids, they give us a chance to breathe and see things with fresh eyes.
Precisely. And that brings me to something I want you to think about.
Yeah.
How can you become more aware of these voids in your own life? Where do you find them? What do you discover in those spaces? It's a journey worth taking.
It really is. It's food for thought, for sure. And I think that's a great place to leave it for today. Until next time.